And I don't have any specific questions for review for this session, so I'll just kind of ask, what worked, what didn't work, what would you like to see more of and less of?
I mean, it's one thing we managed to get there. Managed to, I guess, get an idea or a sense of the scope of the task at hand now, and we see the effects of it.
Now, was that quick enough, or would you like to have gotten to that level of information faster?
I mean, once we arrived here, we got it pretty quickly.
Okay.
I would say we spent longer debating than we did doing.
What, this
part of
group?
it's confirming. Oh, you're referring.
Well, part of that, and I have new appreciation for players I have run through sandbox scenarios, is the circumstances are so wide open. It's really hard to perceive what avenues of approach are even viable or interesting.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
It's like you don't have an NPC saying, "Here's the plan, now do it."
let me offer this then. Would it be helpful to you knowing that you could, as a backup, not as just the first thing you do, but as a backup, come to me and ask out of character, hey, what are some viable options? Is that something that you'd like to have as a safety net or a backup?
I'm not sure. I'd have to reflect on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd have to think about. I have a tendency to overthink things. I think it's like, well, no, well, that I was like, I like discard an idea because that won't work. There's no way that would work. But it's like, well, maybe it actually would, and I just don't even really give it the proper consideration because I'm overthinking what the reaction would be.
Sure.
I'm sitting here thinking it's like, well, there's ways to please. Like a single explosion's not alone is not gonna draw their attention enough for us to sneak by. So it's like I just don't think that'll work. It's like, well, maybe it actually will. Well,
and this is something I eventually had to just state explicitly to my players, and maybe just asking you outright, Dexter, is the right way to go about doing this. At one point, I had to reassure them that the success or failure of their characters was always in doubt, right? Like they couldn't come up with a plan so bulletproof that I couldn't create dramatic stakes
Right.
around the execution of that plan.
Yeah. I'm always going to do that.
But I reassured them, one, that I always wanted it to be dramatic. If they came up with something plausible, I would come up with a dramatic way to play it out. And moreover, along those lines, that their skill as players and the skill of their characters in their game world was never having an interesting story was never the thing at stake. There would always be an interesting story. I was never going to screw them out of that just because I didn't like their plan.
That's fair. I think I will. But not because I don't
say we go in guns blazing. That's probably not going to go.
Yeah. It's less because I don't like the plan, and more because I also have an idea of the world and how I think certain things will go, and yeah, to go in just shooting police at the cordon and seeing how that works out. It's not going to be a drama-filled moment. It's going to be, well, they shoot you dead.
It'll be dramatic. not in our favor.
Yeah, that's a better way of putting it. Well, a tactic that I have used in the past when I find my players getting a little bit too tied up in the openness of the options is to have reduced it down to 3 things that are plausible, and I try to state it as these are 3 things that have tangible actions and results. Not the only 3 things you can do, but these are 3 options that are clear and present in front of you. in the past, I've done that because the players spent a very long time considering all the options. It's also something that I could offer as a GM, we're stuck, or I don't know what to do. What's the most plausible stuff? I think that's what I'm offering here, if that's something that you think would feel helpful to have as a backup. I don't think I should ever, openly put it out there unless it's an NPC that's saying it.
You know, I think honestly, given that as the alternative, I think I'd rather just be left to our own devices.
Okay.
Like I really don't want like the video game, here are your 3 options or 3 best options.
Yeah.
Pick list.
Well, I would say that list is going to be based off of like perhaps some of our discussions too, like any spitball ideas. Not necessarily like, hey, these are the 3 solutions I prepared for you, but so much as like,
Right.
hey, out of the things I've heard you spitball, these are ones that actually are plausible.
Right.
Okay,
And
that would be a good compromise.
And actually, Nox and Meowkin have been in the group that I've done that for. I think a specific example was when you were trying to decide what to do with the Union fleet that was incoming to the black hole system.
Mm-hmm.
And
that had a lot of variables.
That had a lot of variables, and after
we killed a lot of innocent people,
quite a lot of discussion, I broke it down into 3 different time frames. You could set the bomb off at this point, or this point, and these would be the most likely results at any of those points.
Yeah.
I just want to avoid a session and a half to 2 full sessions of making a plan.
Yes.
And I am willing to accept a plan that has a much, much lower success rate to achieve playing the game rather than discussing.
Yeah.
Well, I think this one.
Game. Let's do that like in play by post in between weeks.
I'm happy to do that. The thing where I got a little bit stuck this week is we had the disguise plan, we had the scanner under the disguise. It felt like we had the first part of, a successful outcome there, and then just we couldn't. There was another obstacle that we didn't know how to get past in the moment, and that kind of killed the momentum. But I understand that this is also a 4-session or potentially up to 4-session mission, so we didn't, necessarily expect to complete it in in the second session of the mission. But then that leaves me wondering, like, are we just going to go back and approach in the same way tomorrow?
I mean, possibly. But here's my thought on that: was that there's not really a reason for our characters to be in a special rush. Like we didn't really have any reason to like try to rush past the barricade to get the scans. Like there's not much reason for us to do that, rather than regrouping and considering the best way to do it. But then again, I'm also very plan heavy.
Would it be absolutely impossible to just fly the ship over the cloud and get the scan from there?
You would expect a heavy military response.
Not to mention they have planetary weapons.
Yeah.
Anti-ship weaponry.
Yes.
I mean, it'd be like literally flying a plane of the Vatican.
Except that the
Is that
Vatican
illegal?
Except that the Vatican has lasers that'll shoot your plane down.
Do they really? Hold on, I gotta go look this up.
No, I'm not saying it. Well, I mean, maybe in real life. I don't know. They might. I was just saying, except in this case, the Vatican has lasers.
Okay, so actually...
Does it actually have anti-air weaponry?
I searched for Vatican lasers, and here's what I got. Vatican used lasers to protect Easter flowers from seagulls.
Does it have pictures of seagulls with holes in them? That's the real question.
It does not. Still, there's a whole article here about it. That's just the headline.
That's amazing. So yes, it's exactly like the Vatican.
And we're the seagulls.
We're the seagulls.
The truth is stranger than fiction. That's a
Apparently.
headline I never expected to see.
Ooh. So, this next offering is a little bit spoilery. If you want me to not, I won't.
I will disappear. You feel free to spoil.
No spoilers.
Okay.
Is my vote.
All right, then we're good there.
Uh-oh.
Well.
Marcus, go down the hole.
I think that means the end. That the review is over. Review go down the hole.
Nah. He left to avoid spoilers.
Yeah,
So,
I know. And I realized
But-
it wouldn't really be spoiler as much as potentially player affecting.
No. We're good.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, no. Unless there's anything anybody else has to say, then great review also. Thank you all. Ben was planning to come back, it looks like.
Yeah, he was planning. But
then he's not doing.
He's not. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there he is.
spoilers never happen. Oh wait, no. Say them now. No. Just
Nah.
kidding.
Yeah, no spoilers. Spoilers were voted out. And I respect that. Alright. Actually, you're returning, Ben, to me simply saying, asking if there's anything else anybody wants to say, and if not, then, have a good Sunday.
Okay, in which case, everyone take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care, y'all. See you next week.
Bumping down the
Indeed.
hole.
Bye again.
You want to say it one last time, Oogie? Or
I'm
Tuller?
gonna be out of here first.
Say what?
The thing you've been saying all session.
I haven't been saying anything all session. Y'all come back now, here.
Good enough. Ending the stream now.